Hi everyone, welcome to Divine Reflection. I'm very excited to have you here. I hope you enjoy this course and use it to make the best of who you are for yourself and apply the information we're going to learn here to achieve a better life quality, happiness, and health to you and everyone around you. I want to tell you that there's no magic in this course. This course takes a significant amount of time and a steady daily routine to apply what we're going to learn. Still, the benefit you're going to gain is tenfold higher than the time that you're going to put in it. Let me tell you a little bit about the phrase divine reflection. It combines two important words. The first word is divine. Divine is the belief that there's something out there that is bigger than us, that has brought us here for a reason. Now I know that some of you do not necessarily believe in God, but please don't think that this course is not for you. I used the word divine on purpose because it encompasses, in my opinion, something that is not only bigger than us, but also we are a part of it. We are an expression of the divine energy in this universe. So if you feel more comfortable, anywhere I use the term divine in this course, please feel free to use the term universe, for example. It does not contradict the philosophy of the course, and it will serve its purpose as far as the tools that you are going to acquire to help improve the quality of your life. So that's the first word. The second word is reflection, and reflection, it's actually the process that we're going to learn in this course. It's an internal evaluation process. This process is going to help us better understand life experience we encounter, different challenges in our lives, from physical sicknesses to mental challenges. This process is going to help us look deep inside ourselves and find what is the root cause of our suffering, no matter what they are. In this introductory session, we're going to get a glimpse of the content of this course, what each session is about, and why it is important for us to learn these topics. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and why I think my unique life experience can be of a benefit to you. Then we'll talk about who this course is designed for. There you will see that there's a very broad gamut of life challenges this knowledge can be applied to. You don't need any specific background in order to take this course. Thirdly, I'm going to present to you how this method was born and what are its origins and how can it be applied to you. We're going to go over the curriculum of the course in more detail for you to get a broader picture of the whole process, for you to understand the reason behind the learning of each session and why these learnings are essential to know and to apply the method on yourself. The following slides after the curriculum are here to give you a glimpse of the method's philosophy and its uniqueness. Each one of those slides is going to be taught in great details in the course. So if you don't understand, don't worry. We'll touch all of them in great detail. So who am I? My name is Sagi. I was born in Israel and I lived there most of my life. I'm happily married to Maya and we have 5 children, 4 boys and 1 girl. I put this picture in here to give you a funny glimpse of our daily life. It is full of energy and craziness, fights and challenges, and of course, love and happiness. My life is crazy busy and full of challenges. I'm not coming from a peaceful Indian guru type of lifestyle. This great method that I'm presenting to you, I applied on my own life for 2 years before I decided to share it with others. And today, after 2 years, we still have a great deal of challenges. My house is still crazy sometimes, but it had a tremendous impact on my family and I. And we're constantly dealing with challenges and changing our ways to live a happier, more meaningful and healthier life. My background is actually in engineering, but I always had the zest for helping others. A few years ago, I decided to change my career and turn my everyday activity toward assisting others to live a better, more fulfilling life. I have been doing also face-to-face counseling for some time, and at some point I decided that with an online course such as this one, I can reach and impact the lives of many more people. However, I'm still performing face-to-face and web-based counseling every week. So each one of you, if you wish, you can approach me for personal or group mentoring as well. The origins of this method is taught by a school called Elima of Natural Medicine and Mental Health in Israel. There I learned in great depth the secrets of natural medicine and mental health healing by principles of Kabbalah, written by great sages of the Jewish faith over the past 3,500 years or so. The method I'm presenting to you today was extracted from this tremendous wisdom written over hundreds and thousands of pages. It's an ocean of information that one person cannot digest over one lifetime. It was developed gradually over the years by leading sages that were Kabbalah leaders of their time, but also great physicians and healers. I have been and still am learning this subject every day, and I think I will do so for the rest of my life since I have a great passion for it. I also have a great urge to convey this message to any soul that is willing to open its heart and listen to this divine wisdom, because I know inside my heart this method is not just useful information to live a better life. It is engraved from the wisdom of the entity that designed the reality we lived in and created the path for us to connect to the source of this universe. So who this course is designed for? As you can see on the screen, there is a vast gamut of life challenges that this method can help with, and the reason being is it is based on universal rules of life that are true both for our physical and spiritual structure. And if we learn these rules, when we understand why things are happening to us, we will address a wide range of challenges because they lie on the same structure. There are some extreme cases of trauma, such as, God forbid, loss of a loved one or severe chronic illnesses, that this method enough, just taking the course by itself, it can tremendously help, but it's not enough, and it needs closer attention and guidance and help from a professional counselor. Just following the courses alone is not going to be enough to generate the desired impact. But other than that, most cases written here can significantly improve using this technique. In any case, you can also find a weekly blog on my website that will address everyday life questions and help refine and tune the use of this method. You will see that there is a great commonality between all our challenges. You can often learn from the challenges of others on how to deal with your own problems as well. So we finally got to the curriculum of this course. The first session, I will talk about natural medicine principles, the strong connection between body and mind. We will learn that our mental health significantly affects our physical health, and we will understand the importance of mental and physical detoxification. In the second session, we will learn that our spiritual world has a structure very similar to our physical world, and if we live by the rules of this structure, we'll be able to accomplish significant improvement in our quality of life. The third session, we will learn about the mechanism of our thought process. We will learn how thoughts, feelings, and actions are generated and why it is so challenging for us to change the course of our life and to keep going back. We keep going back to the same patterns. In the fourth session, we will learn about the chronicles of a negative event. We will spend a great deal of time on that. We will see how a negative feeling is generated by zooming in slow motion on a negative event, and we will understand how and why it is generated. In the fifth session, we will acquire two practical tools. The first is internal reflection for analyzing different events in our lives and their meaning, and the other is called radiation, a tool that will slowly but surely turn around negative events in our lives into positive encounters. The sixth session we will learn how to perform Kabbalistic meditation, a mental detoxification process designed to clean our soul from mental toxicity such as anger, frustration, sadness, and such. The seventh session, we will learn a suggested daily routine to apply to this method effectively in our lives. In the 8th session, I will present to you some real-life events. Together, we will practice the tools we learned in session 5 to be able to use these tools independently. One of the main principles we'll touch many times in this course is what I call the rules of life. Those are rules by which this world is managed. Some of them we all know, such as the rules of gravity, physics, and chemistry. But there are other spiritual rules that we have to learn and understand that the world we live in abides by those rules. Rule number 1. There is only one source of energy in this universe. This rule says that all the energy that is running in this world is coming from the same source. All life forms, including vegetation and inanimate, are different expressions of the same source of energy. If we want to try to understand it better, we can think about it as electricity, for example. The source of all the appliances in our house is the electricity in the power station. However, when we plug various appliances to the outlet, we get different electrical energy expressions. When we plug a fan, for example, we will get kinetic energy, and when we plug a toaster, we will get heat. It is clear that the driving force behind all those appliances is electricity. Look, I know you have probably a lot of questions about this rule. You can find a lot more lectures and articles in my website that will elaborate on this topic. Many of them are free. What it means for humans, for us, is that all of us are different expressions of the Creator. You can also think about it like waves in the ocean. Each wave has a different shape and form, but in the end, they're all ocean. A wave can just decide to be unique and leave the ocean and travel the land. They're all different expressions of the ocean. Rule number 2. The source of life continually revives this reality. This rule means that the entity that created this world did not create it and left it alone for the next project. It is continually reviving our existence every waking second. There is no reality without the Creator that created it. He is a part of it, and inside every atom and every electron that turns in this universe. Rule number 3. The divine's purpose is to radiate as much health and goodness to all creations. This rule is hugely controversial, I know, and we can spend the next year arguing about it, but at this point, please just take it at face value, and you don't have to agree with it. Just know that the Kabbalah's philosophy is that there can't be bad in the Creator, and that that is so. It means that the Creator cannot generate bad actions. We don't see the good all the times because we are not in a level of consciousness that can understand it. On that subject, you can find a lot more information on many websites and various lectures on the web. Rule number 4. When we're connected to the source of life in the right way, we will be happy and we will feel complete. This rule means that the reason we're suffering, whether the suffering is physical or mental, results from us not being connected to the source. An example can help us understand this concept a little better. If a person walks down the street and sees another person stabbing a person that is lying down on the ground, what will be our first reaction? Our first reaction can be anger or even rage or scare. But what if a standby person is going to tell us that actually the person that is stabbing the other person is a doctor and is actually performing a field procedure on the injured person to save his life? What is going to happen to our feelings? Immediately, our feelings are going to change from anger to gratitude and empathy. And it's just a matter of how we perceive the reality around us. Therefore, the more we will understand how we can connect to the source of life, the more content and complete we will feel. Rule number 5. Sickness results from a blockage, mental or physical, that does not let the source of life radiate inside us. Whether it is up to us or not, any blockage that is not letting the source of life flow inside us will eventually cause sickness. We will elaborate about this rule in great detail later on in this course because it is the key for physical and mental healing. Rule number 6. The purpose of suffering, both mental and physical, is to change our lifestyle, to connect to the source of energy that revives this world. Now look, I know that there's a lot we can say here, such as how come suffering is happening to small children? What did they do wrong? And how can they change their lifestyle? It's true. This is also a controversial topic, and an ocean and ink was spilled on this since the beginning of time. But let's just try to focus this rule on what we can do to change our lifestyle. I'll give you an example. When our body has an ache, it is telling us that something is wrong with its functionality. For example, if we have a stomach ache, that tells us that the food that we ate was bad, or maybe it was too acidic, it did not fit the anatomy of our body. So similarly, when we have a negative feeling, it is kind of a red flag that we're doing something that prevents us from being connected to the source of life. The suffering is signaling us to make a change in our life. A lot of people think sometimes about it kind of a form of punishment from the Creator. Think about it more like a form of action and reaction. For example, if we put our hand in the fire and we get burned, it's not because the fire was mad at us and now it's punishing us for that action. So similarly, when we do an action that goes against the rules of life, we'll experience suffering. The suffering is a reaction to our action. It is not a result of the divine's anger. Rule number 7. Energy flows inside us in a hierarchical order. Divine soul, animalistic soul, and body. We'll elaborate extensively on these parts of our essence and what is the meaning of each part. But at this point, let's just understand that similarly to a person that is filling a bottle with water, the water will fill the bottom part of the bottle first before it gets to the top. The energy of the design is also flowing in us in a hierarchical order. Each part is animating the other part. Kind of like when you wear a coat on our body, and when we move our arms, the coat moves as well. Similarly, the divine soul is animating the animalistic soul, and the animalistic soul is animating our body. Another topic we will spend a great deal of time explaining is how our body and mind heal themselves. In modern medicine, we know that some body organs are working 24/7, 365 days a year to remove excess and toxicity. The reason we stay healthy is that the toxicity that is introduced in our body is constantly removed. And God forbid, if one of those organs is to stop working, we'll be very sick very fast, and it can also, God forbid, cause death. In our mind, a similar process is happening. Our unconsciousness is an automatic process of toxicity removal. For example, oftentimes what look to us like sickness is actually a healing process of our mind. We can see, for example, let's take dreams. Dreams are a way from our mind to remove stress, fears, worries, and traumatic events, so we don't go crazy. We will learn that we can help our consciousness to remove mental toxicity. This is the essence of this course. The rule is the same for physical and mental toxicity. Accumulation of toxicity will eventually cause a sickness, and there is a great deal of work that we can do to remove toxicity, and we will learn about them in this course in great detail. We will also touch what we call our thought processes. We will learn in great detail how our mind works. what are the three main processes that are happening in every moment of our waking existence. They're classified into three. The first one is called data collection, or in Hebrew it's called chokhmah. The second one is called subjectification, or in Hebrew it's called bina. And the third one, conclusion, in Hebrew it's called da'at. We can understand these processes and see what is in our control and what is not in our control. We will know what we can change and what we can't change. For example, I can tell myself that from now on I'm not going to get angry at my children, period. I genuinely believe that being angry is bad. It's bad for them, it's bad for me. The anger will only lead to wrong results. But that understanding will not hold for long before I get angry again. And the reason is that I can't decide that I won't be mad. I'm trying to treat the symptom and not the reason for the anger. It's kind of like me deciding that I won't have any more stomach ache. That won't help until I change my diet and stop eating food that is bad for my stomach. So educating ourselves on how our mind works will help tremendously change our mindset and change our feelings and action toward the events we're experiencing in our lives. Toward the end of this course, I will give you some practical tools for everyday use that will guide you on how to perform your self-reflection in a way that will bring you to understanding what are the reasons behind your suffering, regardless of what they are. We will learn how you can turn around negative feelings and events in your life to positive and constructive thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. These tools I called internal reflection and external radiation. And we will go line by line, and we'll learn the importance of each step in this work, and we'll practice a few real life examples that will help you acquire a skill that will allow you to independently evaluate yourself every day. This process of self-reflection and radiation will slowly start melting our engraved worldviews, mindsets, and mental stipulations that control the course of our thoughts, feelings, and actions all the time. On my website, you can find weekly blogs that will use these tools to answer personal anonymous questions that you can submit as well. And in order to improve your skill on how to use these tools and the depths you need to go to find the root cause, the real root cause for your suffering. Look, there's a lot of work ahead of us and a lot of information to process, and you will most likely encounter a lot of internal resistance to some of this content. Your guts will tell you this is wrong. So try not to fight it. Try to let it sit inside your mind and let it dwell inside your thoughts. It's okay to sit with some of these thoughts and feelings. Our modern lifestyle taught us that we have to find quick solutions for every problem. And the truth is that life is complex, and we can't treat it like a bug in our computer that needs to be fixed. Many times we have to learn to live in peace with contradicting realities inside our mind. And life is not black and white. It is kind of like a canvas full of colors. Some of them blend with each other and some of them don't. But they all have existence on the canvas, and they create a magnificent painting together. I hope I was able to give you a little bit of a new insight and to spark your mind with some new thoughts and ideas. I can't wait to see you again in our next session. Take all the time that you need to repeat each session and understand what we're learning here. It took me many repetitions to understand some of the material and the concepts here, and some of them are not intuitive. They're not intuitive at all because they go against our upbringing, and against our society and norms in our society, even for those of us that were born religious and come from a religious background. It doesn't matter. I thank you again for watching, and have a great day, and hope to see you soon. Goodbye.